Hello and welcome to week 7 of my 8-week online yoga program to restructure from the ground up. My name is Anja, for those of you who haven't practiced with me, and I'm very happy to see those back who have actually followed the sequence. And we have been moving through all the lower chakras, middle chakras, and now we are all the way up at the crown today. So we're focusing on the crown chakra, our spiritual sun, and the seat of the energy of consciousness in our body. So this also reveals our evolutionary stage on our spiritual journey. And yeah, I'm very happy to be going with you through this 1-hour program. Feel free to find a comfortable seated posture. You can either sit in a cross-legged position, you can sit in a half lotus posture if this is okay for your knees, and make sure your knees are comfortable, or you can also sit in full lotus if this is available to you at this point. So from that stage onwards, we're going to start with grounding ourselves, finding the connection to the floor. Just place your hands on your thighs or your knees and bring your thumbs and index fingers together and just sense that gentle touch between the fingers. And then let your tailbone and your sitting bones drop. Release any tension that you might be holding in the legs, in your knees, and in your buttocks. Just feel all the body parts that touch the floor or touch the ground underneath. And just sense the natural breath that knows without changing it, without judging it. Releasing the perineum. And on your inhale, feel the energy from the earth flowing into the body. And on your exhale, release any tension or tiredness or whatever you might be holding that prevents you from being here right now. Keep your face soft, your belly soft, your heart relaxed. And then from the tailbone, slowly walk up the spine. Create space between the vertebrae and space on the sides of the body from the sitting bones to under your armpits. Imagine 2 long lines lifting your chest, your collarbones, and relaxing the tips of your shoulder blades. Relax your chin and bring the back of your head in line with the rest of the spine. Moving up all the way to the crown of the head. And again, sensing that connection to the forces above, to heaven. On your inhale, let the energy from above flow into your head, into your being. On your exhale, let go of any tension, stress, tiredness, whatever might prevent you from being here right now. And as you sense that connection to the sky or to heaven, The connection to Mother Earth, your anchoring at the base remains. And you find your seat between heaven and earth. And just sense your natural breath at the tip of the nose. And we start to elongate the breath a little bit. Feel your inhale flowing up from the pelvis to the third eye. And sense the exhale flowing down back into the pelvis. At the end of your exhale, draw the belly button and the pelvic floor in and up. Releasing on your inhale, let the breath flow upwards to the third eye. And let your exhale travel down into the pelvis. And again, at the end of your exhale, pull the navel and the pelvic floor in and up. One more like that. And then open your eyes. We start with a practice called Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. And you leave your left hand on your left thigh, thumbs and index finger touching. From the right hand, you place your index finger and middle finger into the center of your palm, and then you bring your ring finger around your little finger, and you put those two towards the left nostril, next to the left nostril, and your thumb just on top of the right nostril, just kind of where your sinuses are. And keep your chin, if possible, in line with your chest bone, or whenever you remember. Just see if you can return to that position. And just closing our eyes, I will guide you into this alternate nostril breathing practice. So just take a few in and exhales as we have done before, just to become comfortable with this position. Make sure you keep your nostrils open at this stage, also thumb and index finger of your left hand as relaxed as possible, at the same time still touching. Sending your inhale to the third eye. And the exhale into the pelvis. Behind your pubic bone. After your next exhale, close your left nostril and then inhale through the right one. Up to the third eye, take a mini pause, change thumb from the index finger to the thumb, from the ring finger to the thumb, and then exhale through your left nostril. You keep your thumb on your right nostril and inhale again through the left nostril. And at the end of your inhale, closing the left and exhaling through the right. This is one round. Do one more together, inhaling through your right. Closing the right nostril with your thumb and exhaling through the left. Then inhaling through your left. And exhaling through your right. So this is 2 rounds. I'd like you to continue with another 5 rounds on your own. If you can, like a mini break at the end of your in and exhale. And see if you can make your breath less and less audible as time passes. Also see if you can release any tension you might be holding in your arms, your elbows, your wrists, your fingers. And then keep your chin in line with the chest, lifting a little on your inhale, the chest bone. Just keep going until I tell you to stop. Finish the round that you're doing. And at the end of it, just bring down both hands after your exhale over the right. Bring both hands onto your thighs again. And inhaling through both nostrils all the way up to the crown of the head. And imagine like a fountain from the head over to both sides. The breath trickling down and gathering again in your pelvis. Then send your inhale up again to the crown of the head. And then over both sides, left and right, imagine it like a fountain in both directions. And then slowly, slowly coming down, like water coming down on both sides and gathering again in the pelvis. And again, one more time. Sending the breath up to the crown. And then like a fountain opening up to both sides. And then gathering again down on the pelvis. Open your eyes, inhale, bringing your arms up. And on your exhale, just place the palms the other direction, facing down, bringing the arms down on your exhale. And just sensing maybe a little more quietness. Yeah, Nadi Shodhana effects, or also the crown chakra, they both work on the crown chakra, affect the brain and the thought processes. Connected to the pineal gland. So also activity in that gland is ruled by the crown chakra. Inhale, bring your arms up over the sides. Exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart, gathering all that energy in your heart space. And we do it again. Inhale, bringing your arms up. Deep exhale, hands together in front of your heart. One more time. Inhale, bringing your arms up. And then again, bringing the hands together in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. We start with 3 rounds of Om. Take a deep exhale. and inhale for the And then bow your head to your heart and set an intention for the practice. And it could be paying attention to your breath, to a body part that requires your attention today. It could be something completely different, maybe something that is related to your higher self, your higher consciousness. Maybe inviting that in, opening up to your spiritual potential. And with your breath, bring your awareness into your body. And then imagine, just stay here for a moment. Imagine someone taking like a lid off your head, opening that crown. So divine guidance can actually support you in this practice and in your life in general. So just stay with that image for a moment. Allow yourself to receive divine wisdom. And then rub your hands together. And then place your hands in front of your eyes. Palming your eyes. Eyes are closed. Take some deep in and exhales. And all the stress, all the tension from the head and from the eyes dissipate into your hands. And bring your hands down and open your eyes and come into a tabletop position. Place your hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. And again, find a very, very long spine here. So really sense that connection from the crown of the head to the tailbone. And on your exhale, start with the tailbone rounding the lower, the middle, the upper back, and really letting go of the crown at the end of your exhale. And on your inhale, start arching the back again, starting from your tailbone and just pulling the vertebra one at a time apart from each other. At the end of your inhale, lifting the crown and being pulled from the heart more than from your chin. And then you just repeat, always starting with the tailbone and ending with your crown. And just establishing this connection here. If your breath works better the other way around, then just follow your own breathing rhythm. And tuck your toes under after the next one. And just sit back on your tucked under toes for a moment. And interlace your fingers, inhale, exhale, bring your arms up. Pulling your shoulders down. And then bring your palms facing towards each other. Connect your index finger pointing upwards and feel them as an elongation of your crown. Breathing from the tailbone to the crown up. If it's difficult for you to sit on your heels, you just come up and either you sit down or you stay up. And the connection from the tailbone to the crown and then all the way up to these index fingers. Like an outer layer, like an auric layer. So whatever energy you build in the crown aura, which is depicted as a halo in the tradition, the religious tradition, often in paintings, other art forms, has an enormous impact on the rest of your aura, your energetic field. So just release this here and come back front on all fours. Take a moment, again feel the crown pointing forwards, lift up your feet and just circle your ankles in one direction, breathing deeply towards each other, then away from each other. And place your shins on the ground, relaxing the feet. And again, find a connection from the crown to the tailbone. And then imagine that there is a pencil at the top of your head, at your crown. And you want to draw circles in a clockwise direction onto the wall in front of you from that crown. And just stay with that movement. If you want to be more experimental, you can also move your hips in the opposite direction, but only if it doesn't completely distract you from the movement of the head, and just stay with that. And just coming back to center and then anti-clockwise. Movements from drawing circles anti-clockwise and in anti-clockwise direction onto the wall in front of you. And maybe you want to move the hips into an opposite direction, making sure it doesn't completely confuse you. And if it does, then actually just have a good giggle and just come back to focusing on the movement of the head. Then tuck your toes under, sit back on your heels, turn the insides of the arms front, fingers facing towards us. Inhale here. And exhale, sit back and bring all the fingers together, the back of the hand on the ground, shoulder width apart, pouring the weight slowly into them. Now flat feet and sit back. And we're going to take a moment now to stretch into the flat feet here. Inhale. And exhale, sit back. And then we bring the back of the hands again on the ground, fingers in line with the knees. Deep inhale, shifting the weight a little bit front. And then we go back, exhale, and we go into a half camel, Ardha Ustrasana. So bring the hands back, sliding a little bit forward so my hands can be actually on the mat, fingers facing towards me. And then I really see if I can bring the tailbone down and I lift the chest and open here the whole front of the body all the way up to the crown, breathing all the way up. And feeling that you're elongating from the crown and from the tailbone in opposite directions, enjoying this arch here. Keep your head in a position that it doesn't strain your neck too much, or it doesn't strain your neck at all. And then exhale, release again. Coming on all fours, tucking your toes under, sit back on your heels. Place your forehead on the ground for a moment. Inhale, rolling up, long arms, round spine. exhale, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the knees back onto the mat, onto all fours. And exhale, sit back, and you can also sit on a block. Place the block between your feet. And then you bring your left arm front and right elbow underneath your left elbow. And we're just going to stay with this stretch as a preparation for eagle arms, Garudasana arms. So you bring the crossed elbows away from your chest, you bring the hand away from your face, and at the same time you pull the shoulders into your back again. You just breathe deeply here. Also feel again the connection from the tailbone to the crown. Relaxing the face. Breathing into the whole shoulder area. And releasing again, and then just place the left elbow under the right. Again, bringing the hands away from the face, the elbows again from your chest, and pulling the shoulder blades into the back, breathing deeply. You can close your eyes or keep them open, keeping your gaze relaxed. And then just releasing and coming off your block. Deep inhale, coming on all fours, tuck your toes under, bring your seat to the heels, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming up on toes, exhale, bend one knee, bring the other heel to the floor, and then changing sides, walking the dog on the spot. And again, just feeling that long connection, just releasing the neck and feeling length from the crown to the tailbone. Roll the shoulders out, bring the ribs in, pull the belly up, pull the sitting bones up, and also engage the muscles above the knees. So stopping the movement now, bending the knees slightly, still engaging the muscles above the knees. And then on your exhale, see if you can pull the heels a little more towards the ground. Still feeling the connection from the crown to the tailbone. We walk to the front of the mat. Then grab your elbows from below, from underneath. Let go of your head, pull your sitting bones up, and then it's just a gentle swaying from your hips from left to right. Releasing any tension here. And shake everything out, shake up the arms, the hands, the face. Then pucker your lips. 3 times. And then very slowly roll up. And again, we start with the tailbone. The head is the last thing to come up. Breathing into the spine. Lifting the head finally. And coming into Samastiti. Open the toes, open the fingers. Lift the heart, bring the chest a little bit, the chin a little bit towards the chest. And again, just finding the connection from your base to your crown. And then we're going to come into Garudasana arms. Bring your arms out to the sides. Inhale. I'm going to turn a little bit towards you. You can see me better that way. So bring your arms to the sides. Bring your right elbow on top of your left. So you can either stay in this position that we did before, Or you can slide the hands, like the palms, into each other. And then we're going to step back. So the left foot is front. I'm going to step back with the right foot. And then I'm going to bring the elbows up and really, again, opening the whole front of the body. Lifting the crown away from the core, breathing deeply here. And all the tips with the Garudasana arms apply, the ones that I mentioned before, breathing deeply. Make sure your neck is okay, otherwise you can just stay in this position if the other one is too much. And inhale, let go of the arms, step back, exhale, coming into Samasthiti for a moment, and feeling both feet on the mat. Opening your fingers again, feeling the connection from the tailbone to the crown. And bring your arms out again for the other direction. And again, I'm going to face you a little bit. So now bring the left on top of the right. Either you stay in this position or you intertwine your forearms and bring the palms inside each other. So again, moving the elbows away from the chest, hands away from the face. And I'm going to step back with the left foot, creating this nice arch. Unless it's too much for your neck, and breathing deeply here, opening the front of the body. Enjoying that opening. And again, just releasing it and stepping back to the front of the mat. Into Samasthiti. Then bring your feet together for Tadasana, mountain pose. And really imagine you're standing on the top of the mountain. And again, imagine the top of your head opening and you receiving, opening up to receiving inner and outer guidance. Open your eyes again, inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, coming into forward fold. You can bend your knees. Inhale, half forward fold. Straighten the spine, place your hands on the ground and step back into a plank position. And either you come into knees, chest and chin, or just lower all the way down. Pull the feet out of a hip socket, ground them and then just lift the chest for a small cobra. Breathe here deeply. Think about length from the crown to the tailbone. Lift the right leg just gently off the floor, just a little bit. And just see if you can pull the whole right side of the body very long. And then you place it down and you do the same with the left side of the body. Lifting the left leg, breathing into it. Keep your chest lifted as you do this. And then place the feet down and then place your forehead onto your hands and breathe here for a moment. Again, finding the connection from the crown to the tailbone. Place your hands under your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. You can come up on all fours or into tabletop position or into the plank position. And then you go back into downward facing dog. Again, you can either walk on the spot or you can remain in stillness in this posture. Engaging the muscles above the thighs, bringing the ribs in, heart towards the thighs. Releasing the neck, holding the shoulders away from the ears. Come up on the toes, bend your knees slightly, and either walk or jump to the front of your mat. Bring your feet all the way together. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold. When you inhale, come all the way up, bring your arms with you. And then exhale, hands in front of your heart. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, coming into forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Bring your hands onto the ground, step your left foot back. Bring the right foot out a little bit so the feet are hip distance apart. Bring the tailbone down and come up into high lunge. Breathing deeply here. And then just grab the opposite elbow and breathe. Again, lifting the front of the body, finding the connection to the crown of the head. Pulling the shoulders down. Bring your hands down, exhale. Step back into plank position. Then knees, chest and chin, or if you like, chaturanga. And lowering all the way down onto the ground. Inhale, small cobra. And then bring your arms front, head on the ground. And then we're going to lift the right arm and the left leg for a moment, and just really pulling ourselves apart in opposite directions. And just really feeling again a long crown. And then exhale, bringing the hand and foot and forehead onto the floor. Deep inhale. And exhale, lift the left arm and the right leg. And again, pulling ourselves apart in this diagonal. And feeling that central column, the Taiji pole, elongating, and then exhale, coming all the way down again with both arms and legs. Deep inhale, lifting both arms and legs down. Again, thinking about length more than lifting very high off the ground. And then exhale, bring the arms back and rest one cheek on the ground, relaxing here. Breathing into the neck. And then exhale, opposite cheek. Bring the head back to center, bring your hands under your shoulders, come up on all fours, tuck your toes under, and find your way into downward facing dog. Again, just finding the connection from the crown to the tailbone. And breathing deeply here. See if you can lower your heels towards the ground on your exhale. On your inhale, bring your left leg up for a high lunge. On your exhale, bring it front towards the left hand. Yeah, make sure your feet are hip width distance. Bring the tailbone down, come up into high lunge. And grab the opposite elbow. Again, releasing them and stepping to the front of the mat into a forward fold. Inhale, bring the feet together, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. And then inhale. Coming into into Utkatasana, chair pose. Bring the tailbone down. Bring the arms up. And again, find that connection from the crown to the tailbone. So find a long lower back. Bring your ribs in. Bring your ears in line with your upper arms. Stay here for 2 more deepening exhales. Relaxing the shoulders. One more. Deep inhale. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, half forward fold. Bring your hands on the ground, step back with your left foot. And turn your right foot in. So you're into a wide-legged posture. Bring your hands here to your hips, bend your knees, and slowly come up for a moment. Bring your arms out to the sides, inhale. And exhale, bring the hands to your hips. Find a connection from the tailbone to the crown, lifting the head. And then exhale, we're coming into forward fold. Prasarita Padottanasana. And then we bring the elbows together towards each other and the crown down as far as we can. We engage the insides of our legs, also the muscles above the knees, pulling the sitting bones up so we can really release the crown here. And breathe deeply. So especially if you have your period, this is a very safe way also to practice in inverted posture without your legs having to go up. And bend your knees, slowly come up. On your inhale, release your arms on your exhale, turn your right foot front, inhale. Lift your left heel off the ground, turn the foot in again, exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, coming into a plank position, exhale, knees, chest, chin. And inhale, coming into small cobra. Bring your arms back. Palms in the ground, and then lift your feet, your legs off the ground for a version of Shalabhasana. Breathing deeply. Again, feel you elongating from the crown as much as from the tailbone. And then slowly bring your forehead onto your hands. Roll the feet out. You can also again just wiggle your hips and breathe deeply. Slide your hands under your shoulders, come on all fours, and then back into downward facing dog. And then bring your left leg up on your inhale. Bring your left leg front on your exhale. And again, come up into a high lunge. Bring your hands to your hips. Straighten the front leg. Turn the left foot in. So again, you have a wide stance between your feet. Another version of Prasarita Padottanasana. So just interlace your hands behind your back. And then unlock your elbows. Roll the shoulders and up, and then coming into another forward fold. And just see if you can elongate your exhale here. So without much force, the arms can surrender towards the ground. And again, bring the belly in and up, sitting bones up so you can release the crown. your next inhale, bend your knees slightly, come up with the upper body. And then exhale, release your arms again, turn your left foot at the front of a mat. Lift your right heel off the ground, step the right foot towards the left. Coming into half forward bend on your inhale. And a full forward fold on your exhale. And again, feet are together, coming into Utkatasana, chair posture. And then exhale, lifting from the crown, bring the hands in front of your heart. Breathing deeply again. And then coming up on the toes for a version of mountain pose, Tadasana. Breathing deeply, pull the insides of the legs and heels together. Feel that elongation from the crown of the head. And then exhale, coming back down onto the heels. And we're going to come into a full Garudasana now. So again, now face your direction. Bring the arms out to the sides. If you can't do it with the legs, see if you can at least do it with your arms. Bring the right elbow on top of the left. And then either you stay with this version or you slide the palms into each other. So we have right on top of left, and then we do the opposite with the legs. So you bring left on top of right. And see if you can, either you stay like that, just the knees on top of each other. You can see if you can slide that foot around your right ankle or calf, and then breathe deeply again here. And as this is about our transformational, our opening potential of the spirit, we're going to transform here from the Garudasana into a tree posture. You can either place the foot all the way down onto the floor, underneath the knee, or on top of the knee. And maybe just for a moment bring the hands in front of your heart, breathing deeply. And if you like, you can open up the arms like the branches of a tree. You can also be a tree in the wind, and if it's not that stable, that's no problem. Just breathing deeply. And feel the connection from the tailbone to the ground, from the crown to above, and you're so the pull in two directions from your center. The hands in front of the heart, and then bring that foot down. Just take a moment. Just coming up on the balls of the feet and bringing the heels down. And then also just giving all toes a little attention here for a moment. Yeah, so we also pay attention to a grounding as we're opening up the crown. Very important that if we work with the upper chakras, that the lower ones are open. So we have that sense of grounding and connection. So we just now do the other way. So left on top of right for the arms. And you either stay like that or you do right on top of left. Again, different options for the arms, for the feet, for the legs. And the deeper you go, the easier it gets. Breathing deeply. Keep your eyes in one spot or area, but still like you have peripheral vision and you see the entire room. So keep it an open, relaxed focus. Breathing deeply. Let your eyes breathe. And then we're coming into this transformation from the eagle to the tree. Choose your posture, foot below or above your knee, and then hands in front of your heart. Again, just breathing deeply. Possibly bringing your arms up like the branches of a tree. Enjoying that expansion from the crown. Opening up to receiving. more abundance in our lives. And then coming out of a posture again. And feet hip width distance, opening the toes, opening the fingers for a moment. Just feel your connection to the ground as much as to the heavens above. And find your stance in between. Coming to the front of the mat again. If you are somewhere else, like me, bring your feet together. And again, one more time, Utkatasana, chair posture. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. And then step your left foot back. Right foot comes out a little bit. Inhale, coming into high lunge. And finding that length, interlacing all fingers except for the index fingers. Again, elongating from the crown of the head to your index fingers, pulling the shoulders down. Bring your arms behind you. Place the back foot for warrior one at a 45-degree angle facing forward, and then move the right foot out quite a lot more. So you can bring the upper body on the inside of your thigh, and again releasing your crown here. Humble warrior. Breathe deeply. You can also rest your forehead here, not your forehead, your crown on a block as you do this. And very gently coming up slowly, releasing the hands and stepping back into downward facing dog. And bring the knees on the ground. Sit back for a moment. Again, just placing one palm into the other, finding connection from the tailbone to the crown. Gonna go into hare pose. For that, you're gonna again bring the crown of the head on the ground, and you're gonna grab your heels. If this is not possible, while putting the crown on the ground, you can also grab your shins. You're going to round the back and try to actually pull the shins down as you do this posture to get any excess weight off the crown of a head. So you're not going to put too much weight on the head, such as to be able to release your neck. Breathing deeply, long arms, pull the shins down, pull the belly in and up, breathing deeply in this hare or rabbit posture, deep in and exhales. And slowly bring your seat onto your heels. And just relax your forehead for a moment. In child pose. Come up on all fours and back into downward facing dog. Left leg goes up on your inhale, left leg comes front. For the high lunge, on your inhale, come all the way up. Then again, interlace the fingers, bring the index fingers together. Feel that elongation from the crown to the index fingers. Breathe deeply. And And place the back foot at a 45-degree angle for traditional warrior one onto the mat and behind you. And interlace the fingers behind your back, maybe the unusual interlace where the other pinky's on top. Step the left foot out a little bit and coming onto humble warrior into forward fold. And again you can place your crown onto a block, relaxing your crown. Breathing deeply. Inhale slowly, coming up. And place the block to the side. And exhale, coming back into downward facing dog. And swaying the hips from left to right. Maybe you want to walk on the spot. Just relaxing the head. Bring the heels closer to the ground. And then bring your knees onto the ground. And we're going to do either preparation for a headstand, or if you are familiar and you do practice headstand Shirshasana on a regular basis, feel free to do it. If you are not familiar with practicing it, be very gentle and really follow my instructions and only do as far as you feel it is okay for your neck. Yeah, really make sure you take responsibility. If you have any injuries on your cervical spine, do not put any excess weight on it. Just stay with it. Very, very simple. You can even repeat just the hair posture that we just did. So otherwise, coming onto your forearms. And then bringing your hands to opposite upper arms. And this is the distance of your elbows. So stick with that distance. Yeah, make sure you don't bring them further apart. Then you just bring the forearms on the ground. The outside of your little finger should be on the ground. Interlacing the fingers and then opening so you can really place your head inside and find a good spot where you might be able to put weight on your head. Yeah, wherever it feels, oh yeah, that could work. And you could even just do this and that could be enough. And then you just sit back in child. Otherwise, if you want to go further, tuck your toes under, lift your seat, and come into this version here. Yeah, like a preparation for the headstand. Breathing deeply, pulling your sitting bones up, really lifting the chest, and then on your exhale, bring the knees on the ground, and just come back. Seat on the heels into child pose. Just resting for a moment. And then for the second round, again, coming up onto your forearms, place hands on opposite upper arms, keep that distance of your elbows, interlace your fingers like a net, really fine, open them up, and push the outside of your little finger side of a hand and forearm down. Find a good place for the head, for the crown, where you might be able to stand on. Again, maybe this is enough, otherwise coming one step further. And then if you want to go even one step further, then lift one of the legs for a couple of breaths at a time. Maybe you need a break in between. Otherwise you bring that leg down after a few breaths and do the other one with or without a break. Might want to pause the video for a moment to take your break. And then you bring that foot down again and again. Just sitting back in child pose, relaxing your arms and your head. And then for the last round, you can repeat either one of the first two or the rabbit posture. And otherwise, if you are used to practicing Shirshasana, coming into the full version, following again all the preparational steps that we've done, preparatory steps that we've done before. And then again, Grab opposite upper arms, interlace your fingers, place your head inside, find a spot on your crown that you can stand on, and then rather than hopping onto your head, slowly lifting the feet off the ground. Yeah, bringing your knees up, pointing upwards, feet down, and then slowly bringing your feet up into the headstand. And breathing deeply. Again, finding that connection from the crown to the tailbone. And find that sweet spot where lifting seems easy. Yeah, and you're really comfortable standing on the head. Opening, breathing deeply. Gentle, gazing. Finding your drishti, your focus point with your eyes. Still seeing the rest of the room. And just, seeing the world upside down. What does that do to you? What kind of new perspectives are opening up for you? And you can either come down as you have come up, or just opening the legs to scissor legs. Just bring one foot down at a time, let the other one follow. Bring your knees on the ground. And again, sitting back in child. You can also rock a little bit, if you like. Bring your hands next to your knees, slowly roll up into sitting. And then slide your feet forward. And then, last but not least, we're going to come into another variation with our eagle arms. Bring your right knee in front of the left, and then sit either between your feet or on a block. Yeah, whatever feels right. Keep your feet engaged. Bring your arms out to the sides, left on top of right. Again, all the variations from before are possible, and just breathing deeply here into the shoulders. You can go into more of an opening, or you also have the option of coming down. And resting your arms either on a block or on the ground. See if you can keep your sitting bones on the ground as you do this posture. You can also sit upright. So choose the version that's you like best. Come back up. And then you can either just come front, change knees, or you can just do like a quick turn so the other knee is in front. And again, sit back on a block or just as you are. Left leg is yet now on top, and put the right on top of the left arm. Deep inhale. Again, you can stay like this. You can open up further. Or you come into forward fold. Slowly coming up again, inhale. And then release everything on your exhale. And then opening your legs just for final release of your head. And you can just bring blanket, bolsters, whatever you need for a diamond shape here. And you're just resting your head in your feet. Start to release your breathing. And then slowly come up and lie back in Shavasana. If you need a longer Shavasana, switch off the video, set a timer for 10 minutes, and otherwise just release any controlled breathing and let yourself be carried. Accept the support of Mother Earth and also the guidance that you receive from above, and let go of your consciousness for a few moments. Take a deep in and exhale. Keeping your eyes closed, slowly come back into the body, moving your fingers and your toes, hands and your feet. Stretching out and placing one foot after the other onto the mat in front of you. And roll onto your favorite side into fetus position, arms and knees bent. And push yourself up into a comfortable seated posture. Place one hand under your belly button, one hand onto the heart. And think about something that you are thankful for today. Feel that in your heart. And with that in mind, and also with the intention of receiving, opening up to receive guidance from within and without, we close with 3 rounds of Om, and we dedicate the merits of a practice to all beings without one exception. Take a deep exhale. And inhale for the Yom. Om. Om. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to reconnecting next week for integrating all the chakras.